Good afternoon. This is poet Anthony Taylor of the Anthony Taylor Poetry Show on YouTube, episode number 20. Number 20. Thank God for that. Today is March 13, 2016. I have the pleasure of reading my villanelle entitled Amtrak, the 1980s. Remembering when I had to travel to and from New York and Washington, D.C. during the early 1980s, there was a travel route that was beginning its operation. That travel route was known as Amtrak and is still running today. Amtrak was a new mode of transportation reinvented after its discontinuance. Use almost 68 years before the start of air travel. During the 19th century and the early part of the 20th century, railroad was the main form of transportation within the United States. If you wanted to travel and get to a location very fast, the railroad was the best mode of transportation to use on dry land. Leaving from Grand Central Station in New York City on an Amtrak train heading south to school was as exciting as attending a popular university as Howard University in the District of Columbia. Amtrak 1980s. Coming out of the tunnel on the train, a rider can see steel, concrete, and glass. A maze of tall buildings symbolizing man's knowledge and achievement of the 20th century. Amtrak. What a train ride that was. They gave you an opportunity to see mankind's achievements like buildings, tunnels, bridges, highways, and automobiles. Amtrak, a ride into America's history as you travel from city to city, region to region. Ride as you experience not only the achievements of mankind, but the wonders and miracles of Mother Nature. Looking through the windows, one can see trees, mountains, and lakes and bodies of water as one leaves the big cities and approaches the countryside. Amtrak, what a ride! The scenery is great. Cows on grasslands having their meals. People conducting their private affairs as the train passes their towns. What a sight! What a ride! What a pleasure to view America as you travel to school to learn or travel back home for various holidays. Amtrak 1980s. As with everything in the decade of the 1980s, the price of riding Amtrak rose. The pleasure of train riding dwindled because the price was too high. I had to find alternate transportation that was less expensive to travel to and from school. Amtrak 1980s, the bus was the next alternate mode of transportation to use to travel to Howard University. Traveling by bus, either Greyhound or Trailways, you still had the perfect scenery of the countryside of the United States. The bus route was about the same as the train route. The only exception is that the bus used paved roads while the train used steel wheels on steel tracks. What a journey to travel to and from school either by bus or train. If the price was right and the money was right, Amtrak was the right mode of transportation. Amtrak 1980s Greyhound. What a comparison. Transportation in the 1980s was fabulous, glorious, and exciting. Traveling at that time was like taking a honeymoon. Blue skies, sometimes cloudy skies. Sun shining or the moon is in the nighttime sky. Stars at night protecting us as we travel by night. There was never no need to worry about a terrorist attack. Americans were free to travel in any direction within the USA and within the world. Amtrak was the way to travel on land if you did not have an automobile. Amtrak 1980s. The way to go if the price was right and the timing was right. Amtrak 1980s. Comfortable chairs, comfortable lounges, comfortable space to relax your feet. Amtrak 1980s. Never will forget the wide windows to view the scenery. Never will forget the kind hospitality that was displayed by the employees. The speed and efficiency of the trains to get us to our destination. Amtrak 1980s, an era that I will never forget. That concludes the reading of my Villanelle Amtrak. I hope you have enjoyed this poetry show, episode number 20 on YouTube, and I hope to see you in another 2 weeks. Have a good day.